Welcome back, everyone. It's Wednesday, and welcome back to Recall Knowledge presents Outlaws of Alkenstar, a show where Pathfinder enthusiasts play through your favorite adventure paths. I'm your GM, Steve, and I'm joined by Ricardo, Nina, Tommy, Richard. Go ahead, everyone, and say howdy, Outlaws.
Man, that fucked me up so bad.
Howdy, Outlaws.
For like 15 episodes, it's been, and Tommy, and I'm like, where am I?
My bad. I was doing it off the top of my head, and then the names just came in a different order tonight. It's too hot. Everyone joining us for the first time, welcome, and everyone who's been with us before, welcome back. We're happy you're with us again. We're kind of at the last part of the Punks in a Powderkeg. I'm excited. We left off on a cliffhanger. We had no episode last week. We had to take a week off, kind of sickness we were dealing with. Even this week was poor Richard down there doesn't barely have a voice tonight. So hopefully you can understand and hear him. He's drinking his tea. We left off on a cliffhanger 2 weeks ago on a combat. We started to roll initiative and we had to wait. So it was pretty intense. So sitting on that for 2 weeks has been something else. Does anyone have anything that they want to pitch or plug? Tommy, you always got a bunch of things going on in your life.
Oh, always. I've got entirely too much going on in my life, up to and including trying to figure out why my camera looks so weird. Oh God, what is Black Dragon Gaming doing this week? I took a little bit of time off. Some of my games needed a little bit of care and attention. And then I was like, I've been working really hard. I'm gonna not do anything for a little bit, but I'm diving back into the Universal Gate Kineticist this week to build around that and see if it can fireball as well as the people who cast fireball. Probably not, but we're gonna try. Mm-hmm. And then from there,
is that just the baseline measurement for every RPG system? Like build compare against fireball.
Do you fireball like they fireball? You don't fireball like they fireball. Shit here, be gone. Come here, wizard, or whatever the good blaster in 2E is. I don't know, honestly, but
yeah, sorcerer maybe.
Yeah, and I've also been streaming Pillars of Eternity with friends and running a lot of games. A lot of games, really. So it's been very nice and very chill, but they have links. You can find me if you need way too much Pathfinder 1, 2, or Starfinder lore. I've been doing it for a while, and the catalog is very big.
Yep, go check them out on Black Dragon Gaming. You can find them on YouTube and Patreon. First real announcement, or I guess second after we count that as an announcement, I don't know. First real announcement, only announcement really for the night is we are sponsored tonight by our favorite website, Molten Hosting.
Molten Hosting.
They're so hot.
They're not cold.
So normally every week we have our running serial in the Molten Verse where we have our crazy collection of characters getting up to all kinds of shenanigans and horse noises, horse moaning, you name it, we got it. However, tonight, unfortunately, I didn't really have time to throw together a full episode of the Molten Verse.
But we had that conversation about this magic molten bullet that you gave me because I've had a ready to action for 2 weeks and I could use that bullet.
Exactly. So Tommy was kind enough to pick up my slack and write a little something to pitch some Molten Hosting. So Tommy, how about I pass the stream over to you? Let's hear what your crazy mind has come up with on such short notice.
You know, I've been sitting here for 14 days on the roof of a shitty building in a town that goes click clack, a concerning amount.
Click clack, click clack.
Yeah. Channeling my inner Fallout New Vegas sniper, and I was just thinking, what if I roll like a 2 or a 1 when out comes this thing and I miss, and then Halbrant dies about it, and it becomes this cascade TPK because I fucked up, and I didn't want to do that. So I talked to Steve, and I got some things together, and I made sure to add specifically to my character sheet one Molten Bullet, provided by our sponsors at Molten Hosting, who provided an amazing hosting service for Foundry VTT, and have provided me at BDG1 as well. And it's I use it a lot. It was before that I hadn't touched Foundry at all, and now it's like I want to go back. Every time I have to GM on other VTTs, I'm like right-clicking on tokens. Why doesn't this open character sheet? Confusion. And if you use the referral code Recall Knowledge,
One word.
At checkout, your entire first month of service is free. It is probably the best virtual tabletop on the market, and it is definitely the best one for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So, like, y'all owe it to yourself if you're not using it to check it out. You will not regret it.
True.
Just like me, when I use the Molten Bullet and I crit this demon directly in the head and it dies because I'm super fucking good at Pathfinder and nothing will go wrong at all
Yeah.
for any
See,
reason.
and if you were self-hosting, there's a chance that bullet might miss, right?
Yeah, and it might misfire, and then I'd have to break out all the tables for whether or not my gun explodes, and the wealth by level in this game is really
Don't want
not
that.
good for that. Yeah, it'd be horrible.
You don't want to rely on self-configuring your own bullets. Let the professionals at Molten Hosting handle it for you.
Indeed.
That sounded really bad if you didn't understand.
No,
Anyways,
it's
we're
just
gonna-
what she said. It's fine. It's good. Bring on the demon, Steven.
So yeah, thank you Molten Hosting for sponsoring tonight. And we're in this big transitional period with Foundry where version 10 just released in the last week. Pathfinder 2e does now have a Foundry 10 compatible version of the system. It's still working out the kinks. So if you're running like a game, you might want to hold off on it. But I had a little bit of an issue just with my server and can you believe it? Molten Hosting. I had an issue. I tried to spin up a new server and it only had an old version of Foundry. And if I updated in the client, it just went straight to version 10, which I didn't want. And I couldn't figure out how to fix it. And you know what? I reached out to Molten Hosting's customer support. Within like 5 minutes, they had uploaded a stable version of the latest Foundry 9 to their cloud hosting service. And then I was able to spin up a brand new server with that stable version of Foundry version 9 that I wanted, which is amazing. So, their customer service is very responsive. They understand the needs of the gamer because they use the service themselves. So big thanks to Molten Hosting for that and for making just an awesome playground for all of us to play in. It is the show that we use. It is the hosting service we use here on the show. And like Tommy said, check them out and use the referral code Recall Knowledge.
One word.
And you can get your entire first month of service for free. And when we come back next week, I should have another episode of the Molten Verse ready to go. We left off with the Molten Cowboy meeting Angelique Lovelace, and I guess it's good you're not being subjected to my accent tonight.
It is. I'm so happy.
Angelique Lovelace.
All right. We left off with the combat. You guys ready to get back into it? We're going to loosen up and dance into the start of the show.
It's the beat in his head.
It's going for me.
I don't know. We don't hear it.
Yeah, I'm hearing it too. It's right here. There it is.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, viewers, go ahead and sit back and relax. But players, let's jump into episode 15 of Outlaws of Alkenstar as we continue playing Punks in a Powderkeg, written by Vanessa Hoskins. Woo, let's go! And we are back. And not only are we back, guys, we left off in the middle of initiative. So you guys, on the way back from the capital district of Alkenstar, headed towards the Widget Works warehouse. Anita asked if you could possibly take a detour to visit her father at home, who hasn't been seen. She hasn't seen him in months since she was arrested for murder and other various things. But we'll just stick with murder. And as you guys swung by, you found something that was probably scarier than actually seeing the undercover police staking it out, and there was nobody staking it out anymore. And Hal Brent snuck in with his sneaky, shadowy self through the entire building and found Anita's father strapped to the bed rigged with tons of explosives, black powder explosives, underneath the bed, causing him to skedaddle on out back to his friends who were waiting for him, where a creaky floorboard made a mess of the situation, and a couple of weird shadowy creatures emerged from the corners of the room to chase him. And when we last left off was Hal running out the front door. Saruk got his rifle loaded across the way. The sights are trained right on the door for the next person that comes out. He's even loaded that molten bullet right into the chamber, ready to go.
Let me get that persistent fire damage.
Hal comes running out, trying to be sneaky. Saruk, I don't think he beats your passive perception, so you definitely see him come out. And let's see.
I'm nervous. I can't even see shit.
It's probably for the best.
You're pretty far back there, yeah. So the first one moves to there. The second one... You see, like, literally the end of the movement, stepping into the door frame, is this weird little creature that looks like this.
Whoa.
You've got this sort of giant, weird, animal-like creature, long claws, short little squat thing. So I think your crosshairs probably have to like go down lower than you're expecting, because this thing like appears like in the doorway. But you have a ready shot, which you can take if you would so like.
Oh, I do. Let me just really quickly target him, and we're gonna get him with that molten bullet. What do you mean my Giselle is not loaded? Load your damn gun. Saruk.
Gun.
I've got the molten bullet. It fucks it
You
up.
only had 2 weeks.
Right? Just sitting here for 14.
All right,
Like,
let's get that crit.
okay, so it's in my second range increment. Story of Saruk's goddamn life.
Yeah, what's the range on your Giselle?
Less than 115. I think it's like 80 or 90.
Got it. Yeah, 90. So it's a long, but not quite.
I'm gonna probably hero point that, I think. Yeah.
So here's the thing. You take a bonus hero point on Molten Hosting, because this is the Molten Bullet. So this will be your bonus hero point for the added spot.
My man. It's fate! Alright, everybody who I tweeted at my Discord, so I said, hey, come watch me fuck up and rage quit. You can go now. Ah!
No, don't go.
So here in this nice sort of quiet part of the neighborhood, not like nice, but like this quiet, there's not a lot on the street. A loud sort of like boom of the Giselle like echoes out, makes a loud sort of thunderous echo, and you guys, your eyes all turn because Price Saruk's the only one that's really noticed it at this point, and you just watch as your bullet sails a little wide and just hits the door frame, Saruk. That is a miss. Now everyone's sort of adrenaline, that surge, the goosebumps, because the fight is on. So that was just your held action. That brings us to your turn, Anita.
All right. I can't see anything. Okay. Have I seen Hal? No.
You, from where you are, I don't think so.
But I heard the bang from
You heard Saruk's bang as he fired out from the rooftop above you, yeah.
All right, so getting that information, Anita's gonna look at Refi real quick, just share a glance like, I'm gonna go in, and then she's gonna stupidly go forward, use 2 movements to go forward. So that's 50 just to get closer. 50 right there. And then I'm gonna pass my one action to give 2 to Wybert, who's gonna get in closer. So 50 as well for Wybert. Get into the house. I don't care if I'm out in the open. All right, I see them. That's the end of my turn.
There we go. All right, Ruficule.
All right, I will take my free action to draw my pistol.
Okay.
All right, and then I will take my 10-foot step. Not seeing anything, I will then... Don't want to go in front of Saruk. I'll stride 20 feet.
Saruk's also like on a rooftop above you, so you don't have to worry too much about
okay.
like blocking line of sight.
55 feet is well within range. I'm going to take a shot.
Okay.
Do it. Come on, Ruffy.
Oh, it was so close to a natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a 20. Actually, I had an effect on it that it shouldn't have had. So that dirty 20 is a hit. It's not a crit, but it is a hit.
Woo!
All right. That would be
Nice.
Nice.
12 points of damage.
Not bad. Max damage.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just check. Okay, no resistances. Your bullet like tears right into this thing, right into like its kind of fleshy open chest and rattles around a bit. It does quite a bit of damage in there.
All right. Just need to measure something real quick. Still too far. All right. Actually, hold on. For intimidating glare, what's the range on that?
Good question.
I think it's 30 feet.
I don't think it changes the range necessarily. It just takes away the language
component.
So, yeah, so it's still.
You think it'd be line of sight or something, right?
Well, you'd think so. Still to be within 30 feet. Yeah, unfortunately.
All right. Then. I will then just normally reload. I will hold my third action as an aid action to feint an attack for the next attack going off.
Perfect. All right, that brings us back to the top of the round, and Saruk.
Okie dokie. Untap, upkeep, devise a strat.
You're gonna
What's the
get a
third aid?
17. Yeah.
Ah, geez, that's still. That's not great. It would give us information. Yeah, sure. For my second action, I reload the Giselle, and for the third, I fire it. Then with the range increment, that takes it down to a 15. Would a 15 hit?
15 ends up missing. So
Did my feint go off?
Oh, let's see. It would go off. That is a good point. So go ahead and make the aid check. DC 20.
Very cursely.
Mm.
No.
No, it does
least that
not
didn't
go
hurt.
off. Didn't hurt. So I think with the 15, the bullet gets a lot closer with this next shot, Saruk, but it still just it just glances right at the creature's like foot, or just kind of right past it, kind of between its legs. You were really close to hitting, just not quite there.
Mm-hmm. Just Saruk is just quietly getting the next bullet, and I passed him.
Okay. Halbrant.
All right. How we doing? I think I'm going to... Can I delay?
Yeah. You want to delay your turn?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. When you're ready to jump in, you let me know, and we'll move your initiative. Okay, that brings us to these creatures' turn. So they gotta make a check real quick. Okay. Yeah. So this thing here locks eyes right back with you, Reficule, because you just blasted it. And its first action is to stride right down the stairs, like towards you. It's not super fast. It's kind of this weird, funky sort of creature. So it doesn't run. It only has like a 20-foot stride speed. The one interesting thing you notice how is your creep crouched down here in the shadows, trying to hide, is it runs right past you, almost like it didn't notice you. Or maybe it just, doesn't want to notice you, but for whatever reason, it doesn't look in your direction at all. Second stride here to get here, and for its third action, it like it stops on the stairs, and it makes itself smaller. It kind of cowers in on itself, and you watch as it kind of pulls its limbs in and kind of uses this sort of layers of fat it has to protect its like vital organs, and makes itself a smaller target, and it's going to use cower as an action.
All right. By the way, Steve, due to
Yes.
my sword and pistol, that little fella is flat-footed against my next melee attack.
Because of what feature?
Sword and pistol.
Is that a new thing?
It's was my class feat.
Very, very cool class feat.
Yeah, that is cool. You got a firearm in one hand and a melee weapon in the other. Are you dual wielding right now? You got a melee weapon?
I mean, my hands.
Just these hands.
That's
These.
These.
I've got
martial arts.
these guns.
Yeah. These
oh, so that's the question, right? Does a fist count as a melee
Oh,
weapon?
yeah, it totally counts.
It should, right? I mean, it kind of.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Okay. No, yeah, that's cool.
your
So
melee
when you
would
make
to use your
when you make a
hands.
successful range strike against an enemy within your reach with your one-handed firearm, that enemy is flat-footed against your next melee attack.
And then
Yeah,
when I
so-
make a successful melee attack, I can use a range attack without provoking attacks of opportunity from them.
Got it. But it looks like, if I'm reading it right, you have to basically, if you're point blank, and you have to be within reach, your fist has to be able to punch in order to get the flat-footed condition, right?
And if you make a successful range strike against an enemy within your reach, and it wasn't within your reach when you shot it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Within a reach.
It has to be within your reach. Yeah. Unless your reach is like 50 feet, that'd be pretty impressive. So it's not. It's
I didn't
not.
read that part.
Not the next one, but maybe on the next turn that'll come into play.
I misunderstood that part.
Yeah. Or if you make a strike, then you can make the range.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it in either order, right? Yeah. And it says it's lost if not used by the end of your next turn, so it could last over a next turn. That's cool. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Commit it to memory. So this other creature, you see it kind of like walks out, and this other one's really fast. It's run out to engage you guys. This one back here is like basically gets into the doorway like this and kind of slumps against the doorway a little bit, and it looks like it's kind of panting a little heavily and just kind of yawning, and that's as far as it gets, and that's its turn. How would you like to take your turn now?
No, I'll wait.
Okay.
I'll wait.
So that brings us to Anita.
All right. So, first action, I'm gonna get into overdrive.
All right, let's make that crafting check.
Mary Chrysler.
Chrysler shines on no one
That's
this
a
evening.
16. Doesn't make it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a failure.
Mm-hmm. Nothing happens.
Yeah, so nothing happens. Nothing bad happens either.
Yeah, nothing bad happens. All right, and then 2 actions to have Wybert move forward, right next to it, right here, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna try to hit it with his soul.
All right.
Okay, so Wybert's soul.
Wyvern smash.
Wyvern smash. Wow. Okay. 16.
You guys are not at the greatest rolls. 16 is a miss. So like, as Wybert comes in with the saw blade, this thing is like bundled up and it's like rolling around a little bit, and Wybert's having a hard time like getting through, and it's a miss.
All right. Wyvern smash for his second action.
Wasn't his first action to stride?
Oh right. Never mind.
Is there a way to, I don't know, is there a way to give him 3 actions, or is it just 1 action for 2?
No, if I gave him 2 actions. Wait. I took 1 action to overdrive and then 2 actions to give him 3. All right.
Got it.
So
Yep,
this
so he
was
has the
the
third one.
second
Yep.
attack. 19 still
right.
misses.
19 still misses. You actually, the saw blade comes down, and right where it's like, he's got some very sharp claws, and the saw blades kind of hit the claws that are kind of protecting the middle of his body, and there's sparks that kind of fly off it, but it doesn't get through and deal any damage.
All right. That's it for my turn. And I'm going to refresh to see if my dice rolls would get any better.
Rick, now? All right.
I'll wait for reference.
Ruffy.
I think I will try it over here. I guess that wouldn't be flanking, would it? This is a barrel.
That's the barrel of wasps that you guys have placed there.
Oh.
Oh!
How convenient! A
Oh.
barrel of wasps. Maybe don't stand next to it.
Maybe not.
So yeah,
forgot about
Saruk
that.
replaced his barrel of wasps. So in the last 2 weeks, I replaced the green box with an actual tile of a barrel, but I forgot to tell you guys. So that barrel is your barrel full of wasps, your keg full of wasps.
All right. Well, shit. I think then in that case, I would. First thing I'll do is I'll shoot this guy.
Okay.
Knowing that that's the barrel, I'm not going to get too much closer, but I will shoot first.
Let's see what you got. Can you roll higher than a 10?
Nope.
That's a 21.
21 is a hit though.
Damn, 21.
So even through its like, you find the bullet finds its way through its defenses that it's thrown up on itself. It is gonna deal a little bit of damage here. Let's see if you can roll double
Alright.
sixes again. Almost.
Damn.
That's 11 points of damage.
Okay, takes the full 11.
Second action, use Reconter's Reload to demoralize him using Intimidating Glare.
That's right. No language necessary. Okay.
That's a 15. Not too great.
15 is going to be a failure against its will save DC.
All right, but I was about to. You see Refi like start to move forward, and then realize the barrel's standing there and go, "Fuck that!" And then I'm gonna back away a bit,
Okay.
and that's my turn.
Alrighty. I will move up to this guy here, stride up to the other guy, and I will attempt to do a snagging strike.
So are you sneaking up on him or are you just walking up?
I'm just walking up.
Okay. Perfect. So yeah, he's like hanging in the doorway, like, and then all of a sudden you come running out of the shadows at him, and you see him like get scared. Go ahead and make the attack roll. Ooh.
I'm going to use a hero point.
Nice. Okay, hero pointed up. Getting all the bad rolls
Hero
out
point.
now, right?
Yeah, before we have to disable.
Oh my
a bomb.
gosh!
What?
Double natural one. Fate sometimes has a sense of humor.
Map attack. Hiya.
Shut the
So
door.
it's just your second action. You still have a map attack.
Yes, finally.
Perfect. That 20 will hit. This one's doesn't have the cowering going on.
12.
We need some digital sage going.
Fucking
damage.
smudge this whole goddamn.
All right,
server.
12 damage, and you're still snagging strike, right? You can multiple.
Yep.
You just snagging strike infinite. Yep. So it's
Yep.
flat-footed as long as it's next to you. It's kind of held off balance and flat-footed.
That's my turn.
Okay, we'll start with this one. So I gotta make some rolls real quick.
I'm sure that's fine.
Okay. This one here. All right, this one turns towards. Well,
So before you do that, I am confused. It's my turn, no? I go after Hal?
you're right. Yeah, that is a good point. Why am I going? Saruk, you get to go. I made the rolls for them to get them ready for their turn, but yes, it is Saruk's turn.
I definitely thought two more things were joining the encounter. Anyway, let's have upkeep, devise a strat.
Come on.
Pretty please,
Devise
can I
that.
have
Let's
a...
go.
Yeah, I'll keep it
23.
23. I will immediately use it directly to the side of this stretch's head. Does a 23 hit?
23 does hit.
I probably
Even
did that
through
before,
its defenses are up, still a hit.
Nice. So then here's the damage. That should all port correctly, I think.
It's technically a 21 with the range penalty, right?
No, this one isn't my first range increment. The range increment with Giselle is 90. and
Yeah,
they
it moved
are-
closer. Yep, you're right. Yeah, either way it would have hit. 6 points of damage.
I just roll. Ugh, that was not good. And then it should also have. It doesn't have the extra 4 from Brain Go. Oh, never mind. I don't get that to damage. I'm full of shit. Never mind. Yeah, 6 damage.
Only on the okay.
Boo for 2 3s, and that's my turn.
Are you sure you don't get into damage?
I'm pretty darn. Is my brain just entirely off? If you strike the choose your layers, any sees the results of the roll, you may devise drivers, stack roll,
You just substitute your intelligence for the attack roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Makes sense. Okay. Perfect. So shoot reload. Did you have a?
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed what your 3 actions were.
Devise, reload, shoot.
That's right. Devise is its own action.
Mhm.
All right, now it brings us to their turn. So, this one, it's gonna spend 2 actions chasing down Reficule, and then as it like comes in at you, and it looks like it had to like basically give up its defenses to do this, and it charges at you, and it looks like it wants to take these like sharp claws with its 3rd action and dig into you. And instead it just lets out like this kind of big yawn that kind of interrupts its attack, and then it just kind of ends its turn next to you. Hal, this one who was resting on the door, looks at you, gets a little bit of frenzy in its eyes, and it's going to use the Frenzied Slashes ability, which allows it to make 3 claw strikes targeting you at a -2 penalty for each one, but map does not apply to them. So it's 3 strikes. So first one is a 22.
Yep.
Okay. And your alignment is
Neutral good.
So you take the full 9 damage.
Alrighty.
The second claw strike against you is a natural 1, which is a horrible miss.
Good.
And the third and final slash is a 2, which is also a terrible miss, a critical miss. I don't think you have anything that triggers on critical miss, but there's 2 critical misses in a row.
Not yet.
I think it's trying to get you, and you've got it like snagged, and it can't really. It got like one hand into you, and as it hits, you don't only feel the claw digging into your skin, but like you take damage that like is unlike anything you've probably ever felt, like soul damage. You know, that evil like festering wound in you. But that's their turns. Anita.
Okay, I'm gonna try to hit this creature right here with my short bow.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. Alright, so that would be... Get out of Ruffy! Oh, 16.
So I didn't take the effect off, but that's still a miss.
Okay. And then I'm gonna use 2 of my actions to stride forward. So full 50. Oh, there you go. That's it for my
Okay.
turn.
Ruffy.
What the bloody fuck are you? Shoot.
He doesn't have the defensive measures up.
On. Yes!
About time, Jesus.
Well, that is a crit. 32 is definitely a critical hit.
Let's go, Ruffy.
All right.
Crits in chat, everyone.
Hey, it's flat-footed, dude.
Chat.
So
Ooh!
we're
That's
dead.
34 points of
Damn.
damage.
Goodness.
Well, let me just check. Carry the 3. Yeah, it's dead.
Now, technically, this dead body is flat-footed to my, to my melee attacks.
It is flat-footed to your melee strike.
Seeing Hal over there, I'm going to spend my second action to run up. Annie, hold up! You can't go running in there yet.
Well,
And third
that-
action to reload. That's my turn.
That takes us to Hal.
I would like to strike it with my snagging strike.
Perfect. It's already flat-footed, I believe.
Yeah, flat-footed until the start of my next turn.
Start of your next turn. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
not anymore. Got it.
Yep.
Perfect.
But it will be. Oops,
It's about
I
to be.
sheathed it. I didn't mean to sheath my sword.
What the?
Put it.
Halberd, no!
I don't need this. Just bare fist
I
and I
know.
can fight.
What the hell? How do I get it back? Strike. I said, damn you. I got to target it. It's been a couple weeks.
It's
A lot
been a
going
while.
on. Close the door.
Close the door. There we go. Fighting in a doorway is tricky for a virtual tabletop. Oh my god,
It
Rick,
fucking
that's
is, isn't
another
it?
natural 1. That's 3 in a. Well, no, you hit after double natural 1 last time.
Yeah. Map
All right,
attack.
well, that's a miss. 15 also misses.
I think I'm going to get out of the way so my friends can shoot. I'm going to move back.
Okay. You run away. It does not seem to take advantage of that movement and trigger any kind of opportunity attack.
That is my turn.
All right, Saruk.
All right, maybe this one's the molten bullet. It turns out The real molten bullet was the friends I made along the way, and I played Kingdom. Yeah, all right.
Right.
Yeah, all right.
Stratagem's a 22.
Duff a 20 hit.
A 20 does.
Ah, good. There it was.
This one did not cower. Also, actually, wait, let me roll back 1 second. Actually, Rick, your 15 does hit because it didn't automatically. I clicked the Frenzy Slashes, but it didn't apply the Clumsy 2 condition, so that lowers its AC by 2. So your 15 actually does hit. So let's roll that back real quick.
Nice.
Perfect. So 17 points of damage. Does that change what you want to do on your third action? No. Perfect. Yep. All right, so that brings us back to Saruk's. A 20 does hit.
Nice. So when Hal is clearing the line,
Yep.
there is the thing, and wham!
And you can see it looking really clumsy.
For 9 damage.
Takes it pretty low, but not quite finishing it.
And that's me.
This thing gets to go. Let's make a check real quick. So I think at this point, it uses 1 action to close the door. And then its second action is to do something inside that no one has eyes on. Anita.
Halbert, where is he?
Yeah, I just closed the door. He's inside.
No, my Kojak.
He's bound up in his bedroom.
All right, I know where that is. So 2 actions to move forward. 1 action to open the door.
Huh?
50-50. And people can run through me, right? All right, that's the end of my turn.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it made it very far. It's like bleeding, this like dripping sort of black ichor blood, and it's kind of like got its like arm over the back of a chair, and it's like breathing heavily. Refugule.
Refi will say, "Damn it all, Annie," and get in front of her.
Yeah, just these stairs going up is difficult terrain. Going up the stairs, that 1 square is.
So
that would be extra movement, and then 15. I think.
Wait, if that were the case, I wouldn't have been able to open the door.
Are you sure? I thought it only took you like. I saw you use 45 movement to get there.
I thought it was
Where was
50.
Yeah, 50 to get here.
Well, either way, I let that go. So
Okay.
too late to recon it now. Just know that going upstairs is considered difficult terrain. Just so it
Okay.
takes a little bit extra move run upstairs.
All right, so I would only be able to get to here because I can't
Okay.
go past her. I don't have enough movement with 2 actions. No, actually, I'm going to use my third action to stride as well. Damn it, Annie, we don't know what's inside. Let me go first. And I'm going to go right up to here.
Yep, right on the edge of the desk. Push
Yep.
right up against the desk. Okay,
That's my turn.
that is all right. Hal,
I will go in. I have 30 feet of movement.
dancing around everyone.
Attempt to strike this snagging strike.
Go for it.
Here we go. Natural 1.
No.
It's 2 of them.
23 is a hit.
9 points.
Not the greatest damage roll, but as you reach in, snag it, make your strike, pull it back, it sort of like goes limp and lifeless in your body before it sort of begins to dissolve like into that like black ichor and kind of turn into goop as it just starts dripping over you, and the body sort of disappears as this thing is destroyed and gone. And at least at the moment, it looks like all immediate threats have been taken care of. So the last sort of demon falls. Yeah, and then the house here is like quiet, and then through that sort of like quietness, you hear the sort of struggling voice of Kojak calling from the back of the house for help.
Real quick, Saruk is going to scramble down and join everybody. In so doing, put away the Giselle, and out come the close range setup. Show him my shield and show him my pistol.
Yeah, with this sort of like loud noise and the gunfire that's been happening from Refugule and Saruk and everything, as you're kind of getting down and listening, you hear sort of the sort of alarm being raised. Like basically, it's not it's not like they're coming in like 30 seconds, but like the shield marshals sound like they are probably headed this way to see what the commotion's all about.
We don't have a lot of time. Where is he?
What the hell were those things?
He's in that room back here. He's got there's stuff tied around his bed, like explosives or something like that. So be careful.
I take my bows away and quickly take my repair kit out. Or thieves' tools. Do I have thieves' tools?
Yeah. So your dad's room is sort of in this back corner. And Anita sort of runs through this room. And this is the first time you guys have been here, but like there are very faint sort of symbols traced in the floorboards here that Hal had been very carefully sort of going around.
The bloody hell is it?
So I feel like I can recall knowledge about it if you'd like, but based on Saruk's like background and training, do you think it's reasonable for Saruk to be able to see these and know what they are?
I think given your specific backgrounds, yeah, I don't even think I need to. I can give you like a success, or you can try to roll and see if perhaps you get a critical success and hope you don't get a critical failure. But I'll allow you to sort of have assurance. You know what I mean?
My knowledge stuff. Yeah, I'll just take the what I would know.
Perfect. So looking over these symbols, these are very common sort of abyssal pack summoning rituals that would be able to summon these sort of demons to this plane to do somebody's bidding.
I do know what the demons in question are.
And yeah, you would know because this is a pretty low level. These are definitely dretches, kind of the embodiment of sloth as a sin.
So Saruk doesn't say anything, just walks forward, pointedly steps on the demon's head if the body physically remains or any traces of it.
It's slowly dissolving into like a black ichor puddle.
And now that the ritual has gone off, are these still active or?
Looking over at it, it looks like they were sort of drawn and these things were summoned here to this house specifically by someone, but they're not. It's not like there's more that can come through. The ritual has been completed.
Gotcha.
And it's kind of like very hastily been swept away, but not very well, which is why it's still faintly visible on the ground.
Okay.
So back in the bedroom, Anita, you fling open the door. In that room, you see your father, Kojak. You haven't seen him in months. He's laying on the bed. He's bound his hands, his feet to all of the four posts of the bed. He sees you and immediately begins sort of tears welling up in his eyes as he's like, Anita, is that you?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Don't move. Just stay there. Your bed could be trapped, so just let me take a look at it really quickly, just so that we're sure that you're safe. All right? Just don't move.
Yeah, he's like, this feels like a nightmare.
Could be.
Ruffy, is that you too? Now I know I'm dreaming.
I'm here, old man. Don't worry.
Yeah, Anita, why don't you go ahead and give me a perception check as you look over? Like you look under the bed, no doubt about it that it's packed full of like black powder explosives.
Bloody hell, who's your enemy here, Kojak? Ark, I'll use the hero point. I rolled a 3.
Yeah, use that hero point.
Perception isn't my best suit. Okay. 21.
21. Okay. Yeah, looking over the bed and the traps, it looks like there's two different components to this, which is basically the bed itself and Kojak laying on the bed is acting as a sort of pressure switch to where if he is taken off the bed, it will trigger this to explode. That's the primary sort of mechanism of this explosive device. And the sort of secondary one here that you're noticing with that good of a roll is that there is a sort of second timer that's a failsafe that if that second timer reaches its sort of limit, it'll trigger it regardless of if the pressure plate is triggered or not. So basically you've got a time limit against you, as well as if you lift your dad off the bed, it will trigger this.
Can I assess if I'm able to disable it?
Yeah, it seems possible. You could potentially get a way to sort of rig the switch so that even if you take your father off, it still holds that current shut. It is definitely possible to do that, to disable the device for sure. It's also possible to disassemble the bomb entirely and kind of remove the wires that make it explosive. It just depends on how you wanted to go about
Sophie,
this
I
task.
have a crazy idea.
You too, as I pull out a pouch of sand and start weighing up Kojak.
No, not that, Ruffy. No, I'm thinking. Okay, so there's two mechanisms in here. One is the pressure plate, and then the other one is a timer. We could get Kojak out and just leave the timer be. I'm thinking, what if we just let the house explode? If we let the house explode, whoever put this in here would think that Day's dead, or that we'd be dead,
They wouldn't find any bodies, though.
or be incinerated. I don't know.
I could go get some bodies.
We just gotta get Kojak. How long do we have?
It's with that roll, I mean, you're not entirely sure how much time is left on the actual timer. You know that there is a timer that's like the backup secondary trigger mechanism, but you have no clue. It's not like there's a clock with like timer counting down or anything. It's just ticking away.
Okay, I'd like to disable the mechanism for the pressure plate first.
Okay. You have
Come on.
you have you have a
these
crafting tools, or do you have these tools or anything?
I have my repair kit.
Not really repairing this though. It's more of a disabling.
Rafi, do you have your lockpicks?
Always.
They're amazing.
You tell me what I need to do.
Just need to borrow that from you real quick. What check do you need from me, boss?
Are you guys working together on this? Is this an aid sort of thing?
I'm definitely helping her. Or depends what kind of check, I guess. Is this a thievery check?
For this check for disabling the device, it is by default a thievery check unless Anita's got something to turn it into a crafting. But yes, this is a disable a device, which is thievery. So if you wanna aid Refi, we can make.
I could help you, or you could help me. Your call, Annie.
Yeah, it's your father.
Huh? What do you have? Quantitatively, I got a. Alright. I will. I trust you in this, Refi. It's Kojak. I'm an aid, Refi.
Okay. So Anita, why don't you start by giving me a thievery check?
Alright.
DC 20 to aid.
For you, Pops. 24.
24. That's going to give you a +1 circumstance bonus.
All right. On the plus side, that much black powder, we wouldn't even feel it. We'd be dead before we even knew it.
I'm saying.
All right.
This is for all the marbles here.
It's for all of the marbles, every last molten marble in the molten verse.
Mary Chrysler. I'm gonna use a hero
I
point.
don't think that's good.
Okay, you have a hero point. Perfect. Let's use that hero point. This is a heroic moment here.
It's a word for it.
I'm
Have you
gonna.
heard the phrase, an eye
I
for an eye?
fumble with the device a bit, and I say, Annie, stand by the door.
No.
Right.
Oh,
Rafi!
that's a hero point for you. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm fucking sweating.
She's
Okay.
gonna cry.
Yeah, that was intense. So the 12 would have been enough to be a critical failure that would have actually, because a critical
boy.
failure disable a device actually triggers the device. This thing is rigged decently high level, but that natural 20, bringing it up to a 30 total, combined with you and Anita, takes us to a critical success, which is basically 2 successes towards disabling this device, which it does take 2 successes to disable this. So in one shot, you've completely disabled this sort of mechanism. You've managed to sort of clamp it shut and keep the current so that it's no longer reliant on Kojak's weight holding the pressure plate. So that aspect is disabled, and you're pretty confident in that fact, and you're pretty sure you can get him off the bed now.
I'd like to think that as Rafi is taking a look at this, right, and he's taking a look at this setup and this rigging, he's familiar with it. He recognizes, and was probably actually taught a little bit about how to do this. So it makes it a bit easier for him.
This has certain signature handiwork written all over it. Less so Mugland, but more so Uldrak. This definitely has his sort of, some of the wiring is a little shortcutty, and you can tell it's got his sort of fingerprints on it, so to speak. But yeah, you're able to disable that, and with no problem, you're able to then free Kojak if you'd like.
Yeah, I jump on the bed and try to lift Kojak up. Upon realizing that I can't because he's heavy. Huh.
Don't jump, please.
Sorry. Help!
Dead weight is like hitting that thing that you've disabled.
Saruk, help!
And so as they yell for Saruk, while all of this has been going on, like, just step on head of demon, go to this door, slam this door open with shield, go in with business end pointing, scan the room. Is there anything or anyone in here?
Give me a perception check. The immediate thing you notice as you kick open this door is that this is it's a bedroom, but it looks like it's been left untouched for a little while. 17. The bed looks like no one's been sleeping in it. There's like a thin layer of dust around it, and you catch a little bit of some of the decorations of this room, and it makes you realize that this room is definitely like Refucule's room. But somebody has come through here and just like basically smashed this place. Like there are like a bookshelf that's just completely tossed over. There's like a picture, sort of like a little tin sort of engraving with like Refucule and Anita and Kojak all on it. And like there's just like a dagger that's like right in the head of like Refucule left in this room. But it doesn't look like there's any active people now, but it's a room that's been left untouched for some time until recently someone's come through here and kicked up a lot of the dusty footprints and stuff.
Bedroom's clear, and then go here, kick this door, lather, rinse.
Make another perception check. This one, there are books and wiring and bits of mechanical parts and unfinished homework assignments and a lot of sort of things that remind you of Anita, and this looks like it was Anita's bedroom. Relatively untouched, unlike Refucule's room. There's no one actively here that you can see, and it definitely looks like through the footprints you can see someone's come through this room and sort of pawed through it, but there's not that sort of destruction that was happened like it happened in Refucule's room.
Second bedroom clear, and then kick. I can't wait for one of those to have a trap on it. And then, man, I cannot roll well tonight.
Yeah, you move down sort of into this. It's sort of like a little den / entertaining room. But, things have been tossed. The cabinet's open. Everything's on the floor. There's no layer of dust here. This room's been pretty lived in. Again, you don't see anybody hiding in the shadows or any other signs of demonic activity. Just a last door at the end of the room, which I assume Saruk just kicks in again. And then there's a giant explosion. No, I'm just kidding.
Blam!
Tusk, where are you? We need you, damn it.
Sad orc noises.
You find an office. There's a bunch of medical supplies in here. Yeah, so at apparent, just looking at it with a 12, you find medical supplies. You find a little bit of cash. You find a desk that's been tossed over. Looks like there's a small shelf of different medical textbooks, as well as a doctor's tools and things like that. But most of this looks like it's it's been collecting. It doesn't look too used. It looks like almost like these tools have been put away and not used in some time. But you surmise this is probably Kojak's sort of office. And there's signs that the chair's tossed over and there's a little bit of blood on the floor. There's definitely signs of a struggle. So this is probably where Kojak was when he was sort of bound and beaten and gagged.
Makes sense. So really quickly, because it wouldn't be going through someone's private property. Sorry, y'all. I'm going to just scoop up any medical anything that would be immediately useful, jam it in a pouch. Running, intersecting a wall.
You can go ahead and add a healer's kit to your inventory if you so like. Oh, look at that. Versace hovercraft gifting subs to our chat. Thank you, Molten Hosting. Woo!
Such a crap.
That's so awesome, especially with that Molten Bullet. He was moved by your speech earlier, Tommy.
Good, as we all are. So it just comes running through. The house is clear. It is obvious that someone has gone through your rooms. Refi, you should go take a look.
Yeah,
You
and
need to go.
Can you help the old man up, please?
Does.
Come on.
yeah,
Kojak.
no problem. Kojak is able to get freed. You just cut the bonds loose, get him up out of the bed. He's like, "Oh, my back!
I know. We'll deal with it when we get to.
Oh, have you seen my cane? It's around here somewhere."
I'll grab it, and then I grab it real quick.
Okay, and there's still that like ticking, right?
Mhm.
So, Refi, you had mentioned a plan, which was basically, do you want to find a body to leave here? You go find the neighbor and throw him in here, or?
Refi, no.
Tuss did not hear that plan. I'm just gonna take a quick glance into my room before we leave.
Okay. When you last left, you had taken. You don't keep a lot of valuables here, I don't imagine, but one of those sentimental things was that sort of tin etching that is sitting on your nightstand. A nice day with you and Kojak and Anita. You didn't want that photo, like it was something that they kind of pressured you into. But it's sitting there, just like sort of dagger smashed right into your forehead here in this room. The rest of the room has just been tossed over and smashed.
I just take a quick glance and then close the door behind me. And then I look towards Annie. Do you want me to find any replacements then?
No. The bomb's gonna explode anytime soon. I don't think we have time for that. Just let it burn.
Do I know of any neighbors that are orcs?
You spent enough time. You've lived here for about a year. There's a nice orcish family that lives around the corner, not too far from here.
Are you sure, Annie? It's your last chance to get Kojak free and clear.
By killing someone else. No, Refi. Just let it burn.
All right, it's your call.
Come on, Kojak. Come on,
Speaking of Kojak, I tried to move his token, but I can't move it. I wanted to fireman carry him out and then put him on Wybert, and then just start scanning the street for any signs of unfriendly types.
Yeah. So you kind of step out into this open courtyard and you start feeling, because you were just up on the roof not that long ago, like shooting down. So you kind of feel maybe that like fear of like, is someone watching, right? So you look back and there's this huge wide open city, and there's definitely to the north of you guys some commotion, which sounds like potentially even like a air marshal, a shield marshal skyship sort of coming this way.
Oh my gosh.
But you feel a little small. So as you stare back at this, if you'd like, you can give me a perception check again to see if maybe you notice anyone staring back at you all. Make it a secret perception check.
I'm gonna grab my bees.
Yeah, grab your bees. That's right. The bees gotta go back.
Question marks. Who to
Question marks. Nice. You stare back at the city. You see people in windows like peering sort of at you. There's at least 4 or 5 different people who are like looking and trying to see what's going on. And as you kind of look in their direction, immediately like close the curtains and stuff. Everyone that you catch with your sort of scan of the area seems to be looky-loos and people that are trying to figure out what's going on more so than any sinister people watching this. So either they're very well hidden or you're not seeing them.
Let's go. I'm just not saying a lot, jogging forward.
Yep. So like as you start running away from the sort of shield marshals coming your way, like you Kojak's bumping along on Wybert, and he's like, "Oh, Anita, how is school going, dear?
Oh,
Doing good? I know you're studying for them finals." Whew.
I am. I could talk to you about it when we get to somewhere safe later. It's so nice to see you.
There was some man here. He was asking about you. Orcish fella, like metal teeth. I didn't catch his name, but he was covered in these tattoos.
Tattoos? I looked to Refi. Do you know? I looked to Hal. I looked to Saruk.
I know. Our concern right now is getting your is getting you to safety, sir. The noise might draw more attention.
Oh, you look kind of like him.
I know.
Are you
Please.
his brother?
Please be quiet.
Oh, Annie, hi. How are you doing? How's school been? As you're rushing off back to... Oh, well, yeah, where are you going now? This might have... Are you taking him to the Widget Works warehouse? Or...
Oh, no.
It's got to be the east of all, yeah?
Oh, yeah, that's fairly safe right now. Or I forgot her name. It's been so long.
The Barrel and Bullet, the other saloon in the many saloons in this town.
Do we want to bring him to Phoebe, or do we want to hide him away on our own?
Phoebe is the logical conclusion. I don't trust her as far as I could throw her, but I trust it's better there than somewhere where there aren't people.
I also feel that he might try and escape the brewery if he finds himself alone there, Effie.
Fair enough.
The Barrel and Bullet saloon.
Yeah, the Barrel and Bullet, it's it's a few blocks away. It's not... It takes you out of the way, right? Because you were going towards the Widget Works warehouse, and now you're detouring to the Barrel and Bullet Saloon. But it's not too bad. You guys get out of there in a pretty fast time before any of the shield marshals. And in the distance, you see sort of a single airship with the light sort of scanning the area, but they're not pointed in your direction.
I hope they don't die over that bomb.
Yeah, you're basically about halfway back to the Barrel and Bullet Saloon when suddenly you hear the sort of loud echo, and you all look, and there's the flames kind of go up in the sky, and there is a pretty loud explosion that happens off in the distance, definitely drawing the attention of any shield marshals in there and away from you guys. And you make it back to the Barrel and Bullet Saloon safely without issue. No problem there. You kind of come in towards the front door, and it's early enough here that everyone's really rambunctious. We got the loud music. People are dancing and singing and drinking, and Earthsnap is happy to see you, and then greets you guys and lets you in, into the bar. The vibe here at the bar is one of jolly, joyous people just blowing off steam and hanging out.
Ushap, I need a room.
Another one? You guys have 2 or 3? Another room?
You can take my bed for now, Annie, until we get it sorted out.
I'll bring him to Ruffy's room. Just no thoughts, just protecting Kojak, keeping Kojak safe.
Where are we? It's loud here! Turn it down!
All right.
Yelling at the people to turn down the music as you usher him through.
Have you eaten yet? Have they been feeding you?
Oh, I did not that hungry. I mean, I had a bag of Werthers earlier, I suppose.
Kojak, you looked like you were just tortured earlier.
What? I wasn't tortured. Why am I... I'm covered in blood.
Kojak, I'm so happy you're alive. And I need you to settle a little bit. I need you to settle. All right, just breathe. Because
You're
I don't
scaring me,
understand.
Annie.
I'm scared too. I don't know who. I think I know who these people are. But they're treating it like it's so damn fucking important. They tried to kill you. So just settle so I could settle. So we could both settle and then have a proper conversation. Could you do that? Please?
You see, you're staring back, and as you're, kind of tearing up, something in his sort of focus in his brain sort of re-clicks, and you just see almost a slight personality change, and he's like, Anita! And he reaches out and gives you a big hug.
Yes. I need you to settle, please. I need my dad right now. Yeah?
I'm sorry, it's been so tough with you guys gone. How long is it? I thought they said you killed someone, broke out. What's going on, Annie?
I want you fed first, and let's get you cleaned up. And then I'll tell you all the answers to it.
I'll get you something to eat, old man. And give you a moment alone. And I step out of the room and head down.
You're looking well?
Someone tried to set me up at Bliffer. I'm not a Bliffer anymore.
I knew you wouldn't have done the things they said you did. I told them that.
I did end up killing someone because it's either them or us. So yeah.
Anita, I've taught you. We don't take lives, we save lives.
And that's what I've been trying to do. But sometimes, Kojak, sometimes it's really hard to help their lives if they're actively trying to kill us. So I don't really know what to say to you.
I don't think we really need to say anything right now. Just let me hug you a little longer. And he like reaches out and pulls you in a little more.
And then Anita cries.
But you've managed. I think we kind of fade out in that scene. But Anita, you've at least brought your father to safety and saved his life with some lucky dice rolls.
Gonna thank Refi. Give him all the chocolates.
Right. So I think from there, we'll fade out from there and go to our break for the night. That's a pretty strong exclamation point to end that first half of the session, considering how close he was to just being dead.
Gosh, that natural 20 is so freaking dramatic.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
I put my molten bullet in Refi's thieves tools, but I'm really happy that that's where I left it. You're welcome.
Amazing.
He actually stole them from you when you were
Yeah,
looking.
that fucking tracks.
That tracks, yeah. All right. Well, while we're at break here on the show, take some time to support us here at Recall Knowledge. You can head on over to twitch.tv/Recall Knowledge to follow us there and watch us live. We stream Wednesdays. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching us on Twitch, head over to youtube.com/Recall Knowledge and subscribe there on YouTube. That's a great place to get caught up on all our old shows. If you have an Amazon Prime sub or any other sub, or you can either sub now or just wait for Versace Hovercraft from Molten Hosting to gift everyone in the channel a sub. So that would be really cool. As well, check us out. YouTube. We have a Patreon, Recall Knowledge on Patreon. We'll shout out our patrons a little bit later on in the show. If you enjoy what we're doing, make sure we keep doing it some more. Show us your support. It goes a long way. We're going to be back in 10 minutes with more Outlaws of Alkenstar. So don't go anywhere. Yeah, let's go decompress from...
Let's all go hug our loved ones really hard. I'm going to go find my cat.
Damage.
Emotional damage!
Anyhow, welcome back to some Outlaws of Alkenstar for the 8th time I said that. We are coming back to a intense scene, right? So as the camera kind of comes back in and we see fades in down at the bottom of the bar and everything is moving in like sort of fast motion and there's a lot of chaos and energy and people moving around and drinking and fights breaking out, and the camera slowly sort of pushes through that tavern scene out the side door where we see the gunworks beyond. There's a goblin inside tinkering and toiling away at some invention, but we just hear the sort of like echoing of like bullet fire, and the camera sort of pushes back to the back section of this courtyard, and we see a makeshift little shooting range that's set up. And you just see like Saruk in silence, just like reloading, firing, glass bottle explodes, reloading, next glass bottle explodes. So what is Saruk sort of doing in this moment, right? This is like, there's obviously you're seeing hints of who did this and some of your past maybe coming back. But yeah, we come back to Saruk. So what is, you can go ahead and give us a little bit of what Saruk's up to.
Everything is very just inhale, exhale, squeeze the trigger, bottle explodes, breathe, reload. Very slow, very mechanical. If any like flies on the wall were to witness this, that written on his face is someone who has like 30,000 complex emotions simultaneously all at once fighting for the big chair, and to tamp them down, it's inhale, exhale, fire, reload again.
Last breaks.
When they inevitably run out, then it's go fish out from wherever the empties are, line them up, go again. Saruk would be out here for a while, probably until the team is ready to go on again. Probably didn't say anything when we got back to the saloon, just like excuse himself to outside.
I think you probably see this like camera shot of like Saruk doing this over and over, and then the camera sort of shifts over a little bit, and it looks like there is possibly somebody here kind of watching this unload. And if I read the body language correctly, it looks like Ruffcule.
So before you get to that last bottle on the line, before you get a chance to squeeze that trigger, you hear a blast behind you, and the bottle shatters.
Thank you, Ruffy.
My pleasure, Tusks. And I twirl my pistol and sheath it. So, getting some target practice in, are you?
I clearly need it.
Aye.
I've shot at Dretches before. I haven't missed.
Dretches.
Yeah, it's... Do you want the long version or the short version?
What do you think?
Lesser demons.
Demons.
Yeah. They were summoned. Presumably by the reason I'm here.
Right. That reason you're here. What is Gimthrak to you?
I don't know. A loose end. A regret. A disappointment. A reminder of my own values. And a lot more. The past few months have been... It's given me a lot of time to think about it.
So you're here to what? Bring him back? To kill him? Make up?
In a perfect world, I would bring him back to Matakali, and he would go to prison for a very long time. I am hoping, between here and there, the people who I have met along the way and the people they love are not put in the crossfire about it.
I think it's a little bit late for that, but I think we would have been in those crosshairs whether you were here or not.
That's what I keep telling myself. There is a part of me that wants to go up and apologize to Anita. And you, I suppose, for what happened to Kojak, but it's not my fault. And it would have happened whether or not I was here. I want to be more ready next time. I know how... Go ahead.
You're not at fault here, Saruk.
Correct. Perhaps my aim is slightly, and that is something I can work on. That is the thing I can practice between here and the next time, because there will be a next time.
You know, when Kojak was on that bed all rigged up to blow, I thought for a second that we were all going to go with him. That I'd fumbled. That I'd triggered the device. But I took a breath and took a look around. You want to know why it was so easy for me to disable that device? I recognized the handiwork.
They clearly recognized you, if your room was any indication. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pry, but
No,
I needed
it's
to make
fine.
sure the house was clear.
Yeah, let's just say you're not the only one, and I take off my coat, lay it on a box. That might have connections to Gimthrak.
What do you mean?
And I turn away.
Don't just say that and walk off. What do you
No,
mean?
I turn away towards the boxes that I'm putting stuff on.
Never
and
mind, I won't yell at you.
Yeah. I'm very familiar with Gimthrak's handiwork. He's even taught me a few things. And you see the eye patch
Wait.
come off. And this is all from the back. And you see me place the eye patch. Head tilts down and I take off the hat. He told me he taught me one thing, and that there's no such thing as a fair fight. And you could see his handiwork for yourself. And I turn around and you see Refacule, hair cut about to his shoulders, some kind of wavy parted over his left eye. And for the first time, Saruk sees two small white horns growing out from the top of his head, the forehead, kind of up more, that are usually covered by his hat. And his left eye, that is usually covered with an eye patch, is bright red. And you see a scar that goes across it from top to bottom.
The timeline makes no sense. How could he have... When I have entirely too many questions. Tell me everything.
Well, do you want the long story or the short story?
The whole thing.
All right. Well, where do I start? I never knew who my mother and father were.
Ridicule.
You said you wanted the whole story.
I did.
Oh, you mean about Gimthrak, right?
Yes, smart ass.
Well, I was under the employ, you could say even maybe raised, by one Ambrose Muglin. Since I was probably no taller than your ankles. But Mugland raised and trained me to do one thing, and one thing very well. To kill the people that he needed killing. To be his duelist. Now, Gimthrak would come by every once in a while. It wasn't until recently that he'd been staying for too long, but he'd come by, did whatever business that Mr. Muglin had him do, and occasionally, see to some parts of my training. He's even the one who named me Uldrak.
I see. So that day a few months ago, that was a very thinly veiled threat pointed at you. I'll take it.
Not a very sharp and deep sense of humor, that Gimthrak demon.
I speak Abyssal. I say in Abyssal. I am surprised that it's apparently gone on for this long. As far as I'd known, everything you'd done was in the past year, but
I think it's been a bit longer than that.
Apparently. Well,
but if he went after Kojak, it was at the behest of Mugland.
Right. Yeah. Find one, find the other, kill 2 rocks with 1 stone, and then I can put this all behind me. Next time I'll be a better shot.
Don't you kill demons or something? This doesn't bother you.
What happened? Of course it bothers me. There were innocent lives at stake.
You see Reffy pointing to the horns.
Oh, no, there are a lot of tieflings where I come from. No, it doesn't bother me. It's just part of who you are. You also drink coffee when it's very, very late and drink first thing in the morning. It's just a piece in a very large puzzle that makes you, you.
Sometimes I'm not sure who I am.
I think that answer is
sense.
for you to... No, I understand completely. Well, I shouldn't say that. I presume based on the circumstances of your life, it would be very hard to find what means you and what means what they made you to be.
Right.
But no, I don't judge you for any fiendish influence. My sister is a tiefling. The amount of abyssal radiation that will seep through warriors from where I live, I don't know the exact percentage of tiefling birth rates, but it is considerably high compared to anywhere else, and so that means some people want their steaks a little more raw. I think it is clear and it is obvious and it is evidenced by much more evidence than I thought there was that the circumstances of one's birth, planar or otherwise, do not show the measure of one's character. Thank you. I needed to wax poetic for a minute. Let's go find the son of a bitch, shall we?
Let's do that.
And Saruk starts gathering his gear.
Saruk.
Not working. Oh, there it goes. You're good.
Alright, yeah, so Reffy pauses for a moment and Saruk. Gimthrak's not your fault.
I know. Thank you. I know.
Now let's go kill the son of a bitch.
Saruk doesn't say anything, turns and walks off.
Yeah, there's like a cut back towards the camera goes back into the bar, and we see like on the second story window, there's just a sort of you can see like Anita sort of having a conversation with Kojak, and maybe even like he's a little exhausted, so maybe even like tucking him in for the night. But I'm curious as to what Halbrand's doing during all of this.
So I think he's sitting on the front porch with Sil and teaching Sil how to sniff out gunpowder based on what had just gone on. He was emotionally taken aback by Anita's reaction to Kojak and wanting to run in there and knowing the danger that the whole party was in as Reficule meticulously used his thieves' tools. So he's slowly teaching this dog how to sniff out gunpowder, black powder, in hopes that he'd never have to send her in to sniff out a place, but quietly out front waiting for the group to gather in the common room so we can go find out what we need to find out.
So I think there's sort of a recongregation of the crew on the porch of the Barrel and Bullet with the party going on inside and you guys standing outside. That sort of like sheet metal sign. There's just a barrel with a little gun hanging, actual bullet hole right through the barrel. It's the only signifier of this saloon. Quiet night. There's like a little bit of like rain has started falling across the streets and puddling in some of the cobblestone streets, and the wood is sort of swelling with the rain. Just a little nice light rain, but we're reconvened back on the porch. Oh yeah.
And just to add something, in that rain, we pan back to the alley that me and Saruk were just in. And you see for a moment that Refi's taking back his coat and his hat. But you see, being soaked in the rain, the eye patch is still there.
Leaving the eye patch. All right, Anita?
Why are you keeping it on? I mean, why'd you take it off, I mean? The whole...
Well, they went after Kojak, Annie.
Mm-hmm.
I just figured, time to stop hiding. If they want a war, I'll bring them a war. And they'll know who it is they're dealing with.
I owe you everything, by the way. You did.
You owe me nothing.
I do.
I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for you and the old man.
Sure, I guess. But I don't even know what to say, Refi.
Perhaps saying nothing is the best way to go about it. Halbrand said it best. We point each other at where our skill sets are helpful, and we do what we do best. I might be the key, but that one is the bomb disabler.
All right. He's tucked in. He's sleeping. So he should be good to go.
Shall we, head on then?
Indeed.
Yes, I just oiled up Wybert. I'm ready to get rid of all this, whatever it is that's going inside my head, in my heart, my chest, everything.
Annie, you could do me a favor.
Yeah.
Hal is a bit too proud to say anything, but I can see him bleeding over there.
Oh, yes, sure. Hal! Excuse me. And then I just begin doing treat wounds on Hal.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
With assurance.
With assurance, so you take assurance gives you a 10 on the roll, and so that's an automatic success, right?
Yes. So it's a 2d8.
Yeah, you can do the
2d8
2d8.
friend. 10 points.
All right. We ready to get moving? Or we need to wait a minute for Saruk?
I see, I just heard him.
I'm just going to sit here and think and hold my snake bites, tusks, and process in this exact pose for about an hour.
It seems like we are sort of setting out into this rainstorm towards the Widget Works warehouse, which is a lead I believe you picked up at the Longhorn Lounge, correct? I clicked the wrong thing.
Yes, yeah.
It's been a while.
Been a while.
It's been a while. The jail barrel.
Oh, so you heard the word as like this like goblin person was escorted out of the Longhorn Lounge. She said that we should have met at the Widget Works, is what you heard from the bouncer as you were being dragged away. And then you guys remembered where the Widget Works was. So you're heading to check out the Widget Works warehouse. Somebody had given, so you guys already did recall knowledge checks on the warehouse, but it was 2 weeks ago, so I don't remember who actually did it. Does anyone remember?
I think it was me. I'm making a broad strokes assumption based on my class abilities, but I think it was me.
True.
I vaguely remember something about how the Powderkeg punks use it as a backup hangout spot. Other than that, I don't remember anything else.
Yeah, historically it was an old gnomish warehouse for almost like a firework factory or something, and then it transitioned over time to sort of being like a rotating warehouse a rotating headquarters for all of these gangs that would use it. And word on the street, no one knows who's using it now, but what you've heard so far kind of leads you to believe it's possibly currently used by the Powderkeg punks as possibly a location they know of, because otherwise it's an abandoned warehouse that just has underworld connections, right? Not entirely sure what you guys are gonna find there, but it's a lead that you guys are following up.
Anita.
Yeah.
Annie?
Yes.
Mind if I call you Annie?
Yeah. We've almost died so many times.
Okay.
I'll be all right. I mean, I'm happy. I'm relieved. I'm glad that I was alone earlier, because if not, there's a part of me that just wanted to blame people for putting Kojak in that position, because he's never really done anything to be in that position. You know what I mean? So, but it's useless to be angry and find blame, because what good would that do me? What good would that do him?
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Refugio, what you said about muggling is, we're just going to go deeper and deeper into this. So I'm hoping your pops is going to be all right with Phoebe, or at Phoebe's place. But it's going to get more dangerous.
Yeah, I need to figure that out too. It's becoming a little bit more real, actually. Refi's warned me about this. You've warned me about this, Refi. It is not fun in games anymore. People are getting hurt. It didn't feel as serious when it was just us that's getting hurt, but now that people outside of us is... I don't know if I feel angry or scared.
It doesn't end until we finish it, right?
Yeah, how could we even get close to Mugland?
How do you reach the top of a tower? Just one step at a time. We take these
Sometimes
steps.
it's not reaching the top that you have to worry about. It's the fall going down.
Muggle will have to worry about that.
This Gimthrak fellow, though, I do want to figure out who he is. He was also the reason I was even ambushed at the college during that night.
Yeah, y'all seem to have more. I don't know anything about the person or where to even start looking, but that'll be up for our friend Saruk. You said you know him, Refugio.
I know him. And Refi turns towards you. He gave me this. And you see his red eye now. And the scar over it.
Can you see out of that eye?
Since the day I was born. And I wink. And for the first time, I wink with my left eye. And you realize that anytime Refi's scrunched his face up, he's been winking with his left eye. It's just been under the eye patch.
Do you have family here, Halbert, that they could touch, hurt?
No, I'm from a long way off. Long way off.
How about that roommate of yours, or that workmate that you used to talk about? Or you mentioned you never talked about them.
No, he was killed in the line of duty by a man with the eye patch.
I stand in between Halbert and Refi.
He didn't wear an eye patch anymore, so.
How long ago was this?
About a year ago, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less.
I'm sorry to hear that, Albert.
Yeah, but
How exactly? Do you know where?
don't know where. Just secondhand information.
Is there a weird, like, standoff between Reficule and Halbrand right now?
Hal is not taking that approach whatsoever.
Refi might look a bit pensive, a bit confused, but definitely not aggressive.
I mean, understanding where he was a friend of the law of this city, and that's how he became a friend, which through his what has happened with Angelique, and he's got a different opinion than he did, because that's all he really knew when he came into the city. So a little bit different circumstances now. At least that's how I feel. I mean, hell, they locked us up. We didn't do anything. They set us up. So figured he was a good guy, but he looks like any other shield marshal. About taller than you, but shorter than Saruk. Dark hair. Wears hat back a little bit like this.
DM, do I recognize that description?
I don't believe so. As far as I know, there isn't any connection between who he's talking about. But maybe you lost me in the nuance and I'm not picking up what is being put down. But I don't think so.
Lyrian. His name is Lyrian, right?
Lyrian.
Lyrian.
I don't remember. There's a lot of backstory and I haven't refreshed enough a while. Maybe there is a connection there then.
All right, I'm going to message you.
What is that one? Okay.
As I say, water under the bridge. Strati under the bridge.
I don't know why I got the gender mixed up on that one. So yes, in that case, there is a quick sort of as like you blink and there's almost like a black and white flashback scene with like rushing like waterfall in the background and like just the sound of like gunshot and that close up face of that person with the hat back. Just you and facing down, and then there's like a banging noise, and then you blink and you're back in the present moment. So yeah, I would say you'd recognize that.
Would you say that he was friends with Lovelace as well?
Yeah, he introduced me to Lovelace. Actually got me a job with Lovelace, so.
Was he... There's no easy way to ask this, but was he part of Lovelace's inner circle, you think?
I mean, we lived in a pretty crappy place, so if he was taking any money under the table to do any nefarious works, didn't share that information with me, because, I mean, we lived in basically a one bedroom, and he slept at night, and while I was out about, I slept during the day while he was out running around, so.
Remember, God, was that tonight when we went to the rodeo?
Yes, it was tonight. Just
It
a
was
few
this
hours ago.
morning. Oh yeah, no, tonight, yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
early evening.
It was last
Early
bell before
evening.
sundown.
Uh-huh.
You remember when we were looking over at Grayson's Towers earlier? No, when we were scouting out the Longhorn Lounge.
Yeah.
He asked me what I was
Grayson's,
looking at.
yeah.
Grayson's fingers. The night that I fell from Grace was quite a literal fall. I fell right from the top of one of those towers. Mugland had sent me to duel a man there. A man that had challenged him and his business. Or that's what he told me. Said that this would be business as usual. Just another duel. Another piece of jewelry for me to adorn myself with. So I went to one of the fingers. Found a man there that matched Muglin's description. He matched yours as well. He seemed a bit off though. A bit sluggish, like he wasn't all there, but really wasn't any of my concern. If he was a bit drunk or not, I'm not sure. But we dueled. And well, I'm still standing here. Muglin trained me pretty well. But just as that shot went off, I was blinded. And I heard a voice ring out that the shield marshals were there. that I would be under arrest for the murder of a shield marshal in cold blood, and to put my hands up immediately. And before I could get a chance to think, pulls down his shirt, unbuttons his shirt a little bit, and you see scars of bullet holes.
Like the Ruffy undressing episode.
Yeah, right? I was shot, and I fell. Not quite sure how I survived, really. But, that's when Kojak found me in a refuse pile, being brought to the scrapyard from the Sky District, Skyside. Do you know whose voice it was that I heard calling out for me to put my hands up right before they shot me? It was only the best voice in all this game. Angelique Lovelace. I'm sorry, Hal, but I think I might have killed your friend. Didn't know it at the time. They called me Uldrock, the demon, and the demon always got his mark. If you want to take your revenge, if you want to duel it out, we can do it right now.
What proposition even is that, Rafi? Hal, are you alright?
I think for the first time you see Hal's figure change from a regular Kyle fetchling man as his beastkin ancestry kind of takes over, and you see his snout elongate and his canines bare a little bit. The talons on his hands extend momentarily, and then he'll retract everything. We'll figure it out.
Just thought you should know.
We'll
Maybe you
figure it
could
out.
punch him a little bit. Just one.
Alternatively, you could go punch Loveless. Go punch Muglin, go punch the web extends so far from you, Reficule, but it wasn't you.
I plan on doing a lot more than punching.
Okay, we're going to the warehouse.
Yeah, speaking of, you stop and look up, and the rain's coming down a lot heavier now, and you're outside of an old, decrepit warehouse building that is known as the Widget Works warehouse. It's kind of like the corner building here. There is sort of a single door that leads in that's completely it's a super heavy metal reinforced door with almost like a sliding plate to look out of, and then you can see that there's basically a loading dock door, not dissimilar to the Yeast of All Brewery, which is in the same neighborhood and has similar architectural design, but very, very much like the entire thing is just completely boarded up, nailed shut, not like the other one. It's you can tell this place is fortified, and just looking at it, there it appears to be a single entry point from ground level, at least.
Well,
Just a single entry point? Is it quiet?
Yeah. From out here, with the rain kind of falling off of the rooftops and splattering, and the click clack of the gears shifting in the city around you, and that smell of the fresh grease just kind of hitting your nose, there's no sounds coming from within that are apparent, but you can make me a perception check and see what you notice.
Oh, I will. Or rather, who notices us? Hey, I rolled above a fucking 10. Wowie.
Oh, my perception. Secret or?
You can make it public, that's fine. I didn't see your roll come through, Tommy, so I don't know. Is it on my
Oh,
end?
natural 20.
Nice.
I'm out of sync. I didn't see Wow, I didn't see either roll come through, so I'm going to refresh again. Yeah.
Let's go.
There doesn't appear to be any sort of buddy on watch, and you do hear the kind of raised, cackling, laughing voices that is very faint, but it's coming almost through the. It almost looks like it's echoing from the top of the building out, Anita, and you listen up, and sort of a laughing goblin voice carrying on the wind, and a couple of other voices kind of laughing in unison with the voice that you hear. Maybe a handful of goblin voice, they're speaking common, but it's in a goblin sort of accent.
Oh,
Not dissimilar from the scrap, the nail gobblers. However, a little deeper.
Oh, nail gobblers are here. Well, if it's goblin that we're trying to look for, I hear a couple of them up there.
Well,
Yeah, there appears to be, oddly, The voice, it's coming from the rooftop.
Maybe
And then there's
a
only
ladder
one
around back.
entrance.
Fire escape.
Yeah, the only real main entrance is this kind of heavy fortified metal door that kind of serves as the front door. And then there is a loading dock. It's just completely barricaded. So you could theoretically take the barricades out, but that would be it'd be pretty loud. Like they would definitely hear you coming if you were doing that. You look around, there is definitely sort of, not necessarily fire escapes, but there's sort of drain pipes and like the side of the roof. It's not too big of a building. It's maybe like a 2-story tall building, and you'd be able to probably shuffle up the side with not too big of a concern if you wanted to get on the roof.
I'd like to do that.
Do you have a climb speed?
I don't believe I got a climb speed as Hal.
It's raining, it's slippery, but you got like a foothold and you can kind of climb up the side and get up here. Just give me an athletics check. I think technically you can move up to half your movement speed per success or something. I don't want to micromanage this too much. It's not like we're in combat and climbing is super important. 15, I mean, your dice roll is a 4, but 15, that's not bad. So it takes Hal a little longer than he maybe usually does this. But within maybe 2 minutes time, you're able to scale up the 40-50 feet to the. It's about 30 feet up. So we'll say it takes you about 2 minutes to go up with the slip. You slip and lose your grip at one point, but you dig in, plant the feet, and keep going. Is it just Hal going up?
I'd lower a rope and connect it to something with the grappling hook, kind of swing it around, something up there. But I'd first look for. I'd first look for some kind of skylight or any view from the second story to see if there's anything like that.
For sure. So as you get up on the top of the roof, you can kind of hear the voices a little clearer, the ones that Anita heard. And basically you realize is up here on the roof, there are a couple of skylights that look down into the warehouse. And one of the skylights is kind of broken, and you just see water sort of the rain is kind of spilling in and looking down. But that's what's allowing their voices to kind of carry up into the sky. And you kind of take a peek and look in, or do you want to? Let me just ask: do you want to take a peek and look in?
I think he would slink forward and try to blend in with the shadows, and then peek over and take a look.
Perfect. Give me a stealth check. I will give you a. Oh my god! I was gonna give you a circumstance bonus. So this is what happens. You shuffle forward stealthily, right? You peek over, and as you look down, you can see a warehouse. There's all kinds of crates and barrels around the outside, most of them open, content spilled out. There is a catwalk that's here in the middle of the warehouse, kind of 2 ladders that go up and raised about 20 feet. And there's 4 people dressed very similar to the Powderkeg punks that you saw earlier, but all 4 are goblins, and they're kind of sitting on this raised platform, laughing. Everyone's having a good time. Looks like they're kind of fiddling with alchemist fire and gunpowder. Some of them are snorting the gunpowder, but there's a makeshift throne here in the back of the room. It's crates, debris, clockwork gear, just kind of built haphazardly into this throne that also raises even higher than the 20-foot catwalk. And you see right there on the, you see a person. I'll just share this artwork. This isn't the one I was going to share, but this is fine. You see this dude mounted on top of this makeshift throne. He's very like a goblin, but this monkey goblin type creature, colorful hair, but in his he almost has this suit of armor. Integrated into his body, and there's a giant gun just mounted on his shoulder, and he's sitting on the throne, and he's basically just telling a really dirty joke, and all the other goblins are laughing at it. And you peek over, and you're being very sneaky about this looking, and then I think what happens is your weight kind of shifts on some of the broken glass, and a piece of glass sort of falls off the skylight and falls down into the middle of the warehouse and shatters. And very slowly, all these things look right up, and you're just peering down at the goblins. and immediately you watch as they are starting to go for their like weapons and stuff. What would you like to do, Hal?
I think Hal would move back and he'd run back to the edge and holler out, "Get ready!"
So Saruk will withdraw the bees, and when the door opens, I would like to huck the barrel of bees into that barrel of fun.
Oh, okay, the barrel of bees, nice. Yeah, so you're on the roof, right? Right, Hal, and everyone else is down below. What am I missing? You can hear them barking orders, Hal, and then they basically like, we're under attack! Defensive positions! And like barking orders, and then you just hear like basically like get the bombs! Like everyone's loading up with all their gear. They're on high alert right now, but it sounds almost like maybe in a defensive way. So Saruk's out front, like, you know, I don't even think, honestly, out front, I don't know how much you guys would hear. Maybe a little bit barking on the wind, but Hal can look over and just tell you guys, you know, what's going on. You get the wasp ready, you're braced, but like, you know, 30 seconds passes and the door doesn't open and it doesn't seem like they're coming out.
So then I think what I'll do, when I realize that and with context get the rest of the information, I'm going to go to where that rope is and I'm going to tie the barrel like up with the rope so it can be pulled up by a particularly strong gentleman on the roof.
Okay.
This should flush them out.
Let's go. All right, Hal will pull that up, and since they've already seen him, he's just gonna throw it up over his shoulder, and he's going to walk over to this area without like putting his head and getting it shot off.
Yep. Yep.
I think he's probably going to just throw it into the broken window. Just
before that happens, really, really quickly, what way does the front door open? Does it open in or open out?
It opens.
a sliding door.
Oh God.
Oh God! This is the Walmart. We're throwing bees in the Walmart.
And I think it opens out.
Nice. Okay, so that was what I was hoping for. Saruk is gonna go to the door, raise his shield, and brace on the door, so that when people try to open it, I think there was something about a fire in a warehouse that made a bunch of regulations happen, and we're doing that. But it's okay.
So we're unleashing a swarm of wasps into the middle of this base. It sounds like I need to basically run in all NPC combat while you guys just sit around and twiddle your thumbs.
I mean, we haven't.
Hello, bees!
Hooray, bees! I mean, I'm
Okay.
very here for like transition us to that map and then give us sightlines on the bees and just watch the melee
Hello,
and shit
bees.
post.
Right. I will activate it because I definitely. So this is what we're gonna do.
There's so many of them.
Amazing.
It's not a bad time to roll for initiative. Let people like have several rounds out of character to like set up, and then let the bees do a bunch of things
Oh,
while
wait, what
Refi
did
starts sniping.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. If you guys want to add yourself to initiative, feel free. You would get the +2 bonus from
+2.
house scouting.
Right.
So if we have ties, we can break the ties. But I do love the image of the wasp thing flies in the window, smashes on the ground, and starts like buzzing around and creates this like massive angry wasp swarm in the middle of their warehouse. This should be fast. So the wasps burst in, they all freak out. It has 3 actions. It uses this action to fly. It has a movement speed of 40 feet, so it flies up to the catwalk where 2 of these guys are, immediately like surrounds like the 2 guys and just starts sting swarming all of them. So each one of these needs to make a reflex saving throw. I'll put it in chat so I can see what it is.
Bees.
The DC 21 basic reflex save.
That's so high.
Right. Okay, so let's make that.
Bees.
Bees. Boo.
Damn
The
it.
first one gets a success. The second one gets a
Gets
failure.
Shit. Gets a critical
2d8
failure.
piercing damage. That is a critical failure. So this one takes double damage. This one takes half damage. And oh god, it's almost dead. And then they got to make saves against the wasp's venom, right? And that's a DC 21 save for these things.
Numbers are so high. We were supposed to fight that a level ago.
Right?
Oh no.
Critical failure. So that one gets 2d6 poison damage and clumsy
Ooh,
2.
look at that dice.
And then this other one has to make. If this one doesn't critically or doesn't succeed, it's probably gonna die to the poison. It doesn't. So this one dies immediately to the poison, and one of the Powderkeg punters, they go down to this sort of thing as the wasps continue to swarm on them. All right, up next are the Powderkeg punk. So the one that's in the swarm, this one steps back out of the swarm, draws the alchemist fire it has, and chucks the alchemist fire at the swarm.
Don't you hurt me.
Come on.
Actually, it doesn't have. I'll just roll this dice.
It doesn't have alchemist fire.
They didn't have any weapons. They were too busy
it
sorting their weapons.
It doesn't have the. So 12 is a miss. But it does do the splash damage, which is 1 fire. But this thing is weakness 5, so this thing takes 6 damage from the fire. All right, that's 1 Powderkeg punk gunner. The other ones do the same thing. So they theoretically are. First one is it's almost another one. 25, which will be a hit. So that's 1d8 fire damage. So that's 1 fire damage with the 5 and the splash. So that's 7 damage of fire, and it takes 1 persistent fire damage from the alchemist fire burning them up. I wish these were PCs, because then they would just have the alchemist fire like on their sheet, but no.
But no.
There we go. 1 persistent fire damage on the swarm. Perfect. And then the other one gets 1 more attack. That's a 20 is a hit. That's another 6, 7, 12. And they can't take double persistent fire damage. Okay, so the wasp swarm's getting beat up. The alchemist fire is going into the swarm. They're getting burned away. I guess that brings us to Saruk's turn out front.
Yeah, so as that's happening, I just, holding the door with my shield, glancing back. Refi, get on the roof, see if what you can shoot down. Hal, do what you do best. You know better than me. Anita, move Wybird forward.
Where?
Points to, the other side of me.
Okay.
And I think mechanically...
You're trying to hold them into the door, right? So they can't come out.
Yeah, I am shoving the door, I guess. I don't know what that looks like mechanically, but I'm just bracing over there.
Right, I think, yeah.
I might, if I can both have my weight against the door to block it and then ready a shot for when the door opens.
Okay, I'll allow that.
And I'm gonna just do this, because I can't block with my shield if it ain't raised. And that is my turn.
All right, Hal, I think technically you're still on the roof, right? Just not in
I'm still on the roof.
You're on the roof, just, yeah.
Seeing how it's going, I'm going to go back and throw the rope over and say it's going to be over pretty quick. The wasps are going down, so let's go. And I'm going to brace the rope and help. If anybody's going to come up, I'm going to pull on it. Help them climb up.
Yep, so you got the rope lowered. You're helping people up. No problem. Brings us to Glaz's turn. So I think on Glaz's turn, all you hear is a sort of super huge laughter and a giant, super loud explosion as he fires what is on his character sheet referred to as the really big gun.
Oh, good.
What?
Not big enough.
Oh, God. Yes.
Now we can.
I think I might have gotten skipped.
Yeah, skip reference.
Oh, because you were at the very top.
Right.
Got it. So that's why you got skipped. Yeah. So what would you want to have done in the meantime?
I'll have delayed my turn until Hal went,
Sure.
and then I'll climb up. I'll climb the rope.
Perfect. Give me an athletics check. The DC with the rope and this, the rope's going to help a little bit. I'm going to say the DC is 12 with the rope instead of 15 without it. So that's a failure. So you start climbing and using one action, you make no progress. You don't even get off the ground.
Tuss, I think I'm gonna go with you.
Yeah,
Drop the rope. Drop the rope, draw my pistol, and get ready to go in after Tusk.
I guess
That's
technically Hal could have aided that, but I don't think it would have made a difference there. Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. Okay.
Tie it around your waist. I'll pull you up.
Glass is inside shooting. There's a loud explosion, but he completely misses his shot. And that's his whole turn. Anita.
All right, so I'm gonna give one action to Wybird, so he'll get 2. His first action is to get to where the rope is. I'll use my action to wrap it around Wybird's waist. Halbert, could you pull him up?
Wait, can we get down from the roof on the other side? Is that like what is he gonna do up there?
I think
That's
gravity.
true. I don't know where the entrance is. Honestly, guys, I'm so lost right now.
So just to recap, you guys are standing outside. Right where Saruk is a heavily fortified door that is like access, but like Saruk's holding it shut so they can't get out. Hal's on the roof throwing wasp swarm into the warehouse, and so Refi tried to climb up the rope to get, but with the rain and his lack of strength, he was not able to make much with his
For
climbing.
my third action, can I take out one of the bottles of cheap alcohol? That's pretty much a pint of oil, right?
Yeah.
And tie it to the rope so that Hal can get it.
But then
Sure.
how will we tie it to Wybird to have Hal use a feat of strength to pull this motherfucker up
Right.
and drop him
Right.
through the skylight to smash with gravity? Wybird
Sorry,
gravity
that was so
smash.
funny. Dude, does Halbert have view in it?
Just
This-
falls and dies.
Does he have...
Where'd you get that luchador mask?
Sorry, that sounded so dumb on my end. That's not...
You're fine. You are totally fine.
Okay, does
We
Halbert
just
have...
spend the rest of the session just Hal trying to pull up Wyvern.
Lift with your legs, buddy.
So
Sorry,
yeah,
that's so
Wyvern is not attached to the end of the rope. What is attached to the end of the rope is pretty much a pint of oil for you to add to your inventory, Hal. Maybe I can give it to you.
All right.
All right, so I will ready for when we get in.
Okay, yeah, you're just holding tight. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, well that brings us around to the second round of combat. So these, all right, the swarm moves over here and does its swarm thing. I'll make a reflex save for these dudes to not get stung. DC 21 reflex save. I don't have a lot of faith that he'll make this. That's a natural
Didn't
one.
make it.
Those Powderkeg punk get completely destroyed, and then with his third action, it like flies back over here towards these other people throwing fire at it. And at the end of its turn, it does burn. Makes a recovery check, fails. It takes 6 points of damage from the persistent flash fire. Yeah, and then it brings us back to Saruk.
Okay, so since it sounds like they're not going to last very long, it seems like they're not going to be running out the front door. So rather, I'm going to, for one action, interact to kick open this door.
Okay,
Don't let
gotta
me
be an
in.
action, right? Force open using your body, a lever, or some other tool. You attempt to break in the window. Yeah, so this is
Oh, so I was mechanically interacting to open. If I could, I don't know
Yeah,
if it's
okay.
locked or...
yeah. You just reach out to try it. Yeah, this security door is definitely locked.
Okay, so we're gonna fucking smash it down.
Okay.
Saruk smash.
Saruk smash.
Yep. Take that force. So this is a force open, which is an athletics check.
I could have had athletic stratagem, and I am so sad, but it's okay.
Interesting.
I can at least get a damn door.
Let's see. I think with the 22, you give it like a really solid kick, or shield, whatever it is you're doing. This security door holds tight on a 22. It doesn't even bust open.
Doesn't look like I gave it any give at all.
Yeah.
It looks like it like gave a little bit. Like you could feel the way on the other side. There's like a huge, heavy like deadbolt sort of thing. It just takes a little more. It's a higher DC than that to get in this security door.
Okay, fair. Shit. Are there any windows?
Let's see. There are a couple of windows. They're definitely boarded up. There's some just to the left of you here, and there's also some windows like down here on the south end. It's definitely a kind of thing where you have to like tear off the board, but then it's a lot easier to get in there than through the security door for sure.
Fair. Well, I think I will probably just... I have a lot of feelings I need to work out, and I'm going to work them out on this door. Yep. Does this have the attack trait?
This is it does have an attack trait, yeah. So it is a map on the force open.
Boo. Okay, fine. And we're gonna try it. We're gonna get this.
Just
damn
gonna
door
hit that
open,
natural 20.
or die trying. I'm gonna die to a door,
Okay.
All right, doesn't quite budge.
and then I'm just gonna because I
You just slam.
1 million. Well, I can't get it open. I'm just gonna step back.
Okay. Hal.
Hal pulled up the oil that Reficule sent up. Is that correct? Last turn.
Action to pull up the rope.
That would have happened last turn, right? Because I was waiting
mean,
to pull them up. Was my action.
Then, did you? Yeah. Did you spend 2 actions to hold that action?
I didn't do anything.
That's true. Move, drop the rope. Yeah, I'll let you start the turn with getting the oil. That's fine.
Okay. I think he'll pull the oil up if you need me to spend an action to untie it and tear apart
I think
his...
I'll wrap that into last turn's action.
He'll take a piece of his poncho and dip it into the oil to make a Molotov. And then as he walks over to the opening, he will take out his lighter or even his cigarette that he's puffing on right now, and he'll light this Molotov cocktail and get ready to throw it in if he has another action or next turn.
I'll let you move over and throw it. All you let you do is your last action this turn, or you can wait until next turn. The only downside of doing it this turn is you will have moved to the edge and throw it, but then you'll still be there, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. So, yep, he'll light it, get ready as he's walking up to the open window, getting ready to throw it in. And that's my turn.
Okay. Sounds good. Refi.
Are we holding him in or getting out? I'm holding him in or going in? What are we doing?
Go in. Can you open the door?
Do I see any any locks on the door?
There does not appear to even be a lock on this door. It's just a deadbolt from the inside.
Don't see. Let's see. What kind of you said it's like boarded up on the windows?
Yeah, all the windows are like boarded over. So basically be a crafting check to remove them. Or just smash through them with the strength, an athletics check.
Wooden boards or what?
Yeah, they're wood.
I have one more bottle of this oil. Burn the windows down.
If you think that will get us in there efficiently.
I mean, it should make it easier to smash the window at least.
Do what you do.
All right. So one action to interact to draw the oil. Second interaction to pour it on the window.
Okay.
Third interaction. Anyone got a light?
Do I have a light?
As he's lighting the Molotov cocktail, watching it burn.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone has anything.
Not
I
I
have my
know.
blast boots, Refi. I just pointed at it.
I have an alchemist fire.
I take my pistol that I've had drawn. All right, I drew it flash round. I'm going to put the pistol very close.
Yeah.
So that when the firing pit, the wick or whatever, the pan strikes the powder to light.
Uh-huh.
I'm not shooting at the window. I'm putting it against the window to fire. So when it lights, it'll hopefully ignite the oil.
Yeah. So you fire, and then the spark of the explosion catches the Molotov cocktail, your oil. So now you've got like a burning, ready to go.
Oh no,
thing.
I poured it on the.
You poured it, right? Got it. So boom, the whole window starts going up in fire, and I mean it starts slow, and then it's gonna spread slowly, but you're starting to burn through the wood. Which window are we doing it at? This one right here.
Whichever one was closest to me.
That's definitely the closest one.
And I can't step away from it because I don't have any more action, so I'm just next to it for now.
Just stand next to it as it starts burning. All right, so on the next initiative, you guys are kind of like incredulously here because the little slot on the door slides open, and you see a pair of eyes staring back at you.
Hello.
And they're just they literally are kind of looking you guys over and what's going on, and they just say, "Password, please."
The password is, "This building is full of murderous wasps. Open the door or they will sting you to death."
Let it burn!
Or that.
You hear they quizzically look at you, Anita, and say, "Close but not quite," and then close the thing again.
It does not surprise me that was actually close. Mud Shagwa.
We're back to Glaz's turn.
Oh, my turn?
Let's see.
no,
No. Glaz gets to go first. Yeah. So on his turn, he can't use the gun again. I think he gleefully jumps from the throne over towards the wasp. I'm gonna give the punks their turn first because they technically have another turn. So the punks back off, and they try to do their other alchemist fire. First one gets 18, which hits. Second one gets a 8, which misses. So this one 6 from the splash. This one takes 1d8, 7 plus the splash, plus the thing. Yeah, so with that one, the next alchemist fire splashes, and then there's just a pile of dead wasps that have killed half the crew, but then just dropped them, right? But they had to use all their actions just to do that. And then they just look at their boss what's going on? And then Glaz is just looking up at the thing where it came down, and then you just see him go, I think it's them! You hear heavy, thudding footsteps. Sounds like this, large, heavy armor is striding really loudly across the warehouse. But that's all that's going on his turn, as he is running somewhere.
You just see one of the goblins over the other body that's been stung to death and going, "Where is his glasses? He can't see without his glasses."
Oh my god, a My Girl called back? What the? That's a deep cut. All right, Anita.
Wow.
All right, so I would like to grab. Is Refi in the way? I mean, can I get into that burning window and then just start taking it down?
I mean, the window's starting to kind of go up in flame at this point. He's technically he's kind of in your way, so you can't really do much work with him standing in front of it. You can, it's just, he's kind of in the way, so you're going to take a penalty for any sort of dismantle checks.
Because I don't have anything heavy enough to break it.
What about Wybert?
Wybert.
He's heavy.
You're right in front of you're in there, Refi. Because that's what I was thinking. I was just gonna have Wybert charge into the burning. Okay, I will delay. But at the end of the turn,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
You're at the end of the turn, yeah, you can't delay.
I will just stand right next to Refi. Actually, no, because I can't have Wybert go there. I'll knock on the door. Because you said
burn it all down, and then they looked at you and said, close but not quite, and closed the
I'll try again. Can I get two tries?
Would Annie remember anything about what they might have said
right? Like
before,
on the bridge or something while they were
or
being crazy.
anything that was on the paper.
You can make a recall knowledge check of some sort.
I don't.
Anything applicable here?
Let me see.
Underworld lore.
I don't have underworld lore.
The one character.
I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
Okay, what did I say? Let it.
Just make it a straight, like,
What did I say? Burn it all?
Yeah, you said burn it all down or something like that. What did you say? Like, let it burn, something like that. I forget exactly what you said.
Burn it all.
Okay, so you say burn it all?
Uh-huh.
Like, knock on the door and say burn it all? Okay. Well, we'll have to wait for the NPC's turn to see
right.
what happens.
You're right. Hey, that's it for my turn.
Let's say this, because we are like at the end of the night. It's just a little bit past 10. The wasps have been dealt with. Half the Powderkeg gunners are dead inside, and Anita has like knocked on the door and said this password. You hear like a voice inside, like they open the door and they say, "Yeah, that's it." And then they go to unlock it, and you hear like, "Wait!" And there's like a little goblin voice who like stops her and pushes her out of the way, and you see like a dragging of like a chair, and then a pair of like the goblin face stands on the chair to get out of this little thing and just looks right at you and says, Are you those Gattleby people that killed my men back at the bridge? Bottleneck Bridge? I recognize the descriptions. What's with the wasps anyways? I've been waiting for you.
What?
Yeah, we got a lot to discuss. How about we call a truce, and I don't have to kill you, and you can stop killing my men, and we can settle this like real criminals. Or we could just burn you. The window's like burning on the side. Hal's on the top, ready to throw a Molotov cocktail in the window.
Yeah, but Sans intent.
He'll oh yeah. Okay, so Rook, believe it or not, you actually get the sense that he is being truthful about this, that he really is wanting to invite you in for a conversation and has been blindsided by you guys like ambushing them in their warehouse. And he really does want peace and truth and will bring you guys in for a conversation if that's the way you go, but you might have more luck. You guys might have the advantage, right? Maybe you don't want to parlay with them. That's up to you guys. But you don't get any sense that he's trying to pull one over on you.
Do we get
Do
a
I shoot
sense
him
that
now?
maybe we have 7 days to decide and I'm in awe about this?
I think that's a good way to go about this. We can go ahead and like there's a quizzical look as you guys are like all sharing a quizzical look. Hal's on the roof, like ready to throw this Molotov cocktail down. The window's burning. Wyber's getting ready to smash it.
Do I
Poor
shoot him
Refi.
now?
Not yet.
We have
And I
7
think-
days to discuss it.
And I think that'll be like where you guys all look at each other confused as to what the hell's going on and kind of fade to black on the end of this episode.
That was the sound the bees made when they bounced off
know
the
what?
corpses of their dead.
We carried those wasps around and we put them to good use. That was an awesome way to use the wasps. Just drop them in the middle of the hideout and have it kill half the Powderkeg punk gunners, man. That
In a
was
universe where it wasn't a bunch of alchemists. That could have been
right. That's
just-
the thing is they have alchemist fire. That's the downside here because otherwise they would have been screwed. But yeah, we fade out and then now you guys can all share quizzical looks and take 7 days to decide how we're gonna go about this thing and what they're up to.
Man, this was the most perfect episode of Outlaws of Alkenstar. We had a lot of very big existential things. We saved a caregiver who needs care in and of themselves. We talked about our feelings. We shitposted and tried to burn a building down. This is tabletop role-playing games.
Tried to break a
It
door
has
down unsuccessfully.
everything.
Couldn't climb the
We
rope.
used the
dropped
barrel of
wasps.
bees to kill a bunch of goblins.
We almost
We started
invented
the
pulley
episode
to
with
bring a-
Reficule. Yeah, Reficule's like, I'm gonna stand by this barrel. Like, no, that's the barrel of bees. Don't forget. We didn't forget because it came full circle at the end of the
Yeah.
We
episode.
didn't forget. The bees are not forgotten.
Well, guys, that's going to do it for us this week in Alkenstar. Big thanks to Nina, Richard, Ricardo, and Tommy for playing. It's been fun. Yeah, is that the dual fist there, Rick? It's been fun playing with you guys. At this point, this is where I want to give a huge shout out to all of our patrons that support us on Patreon. Give us a look over at patreon.com/recallknowledge. I'll go ahead and pop over to the Patreon screen. So you can get behind the scenes look, see these episodes before they hit YouTube, see Bastion episodes, chat with us in our Discord. All of our patrons, you guys are awesome. David Sims, Sam Skaggs, Mark Paquette, Sandra Wagner, Joshua David Miller, Derek Southworth, Awal Jalil, Mikkel Waltz, and Jason Irvin. The list keeps growing. You guys are awesome.
Can't fit the graphic anymore.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start stringing the names, right?
Yeah. No,
the higher tiers get bigger font, right? But you guys are awesome. You guys make this possible. Don't forget, we have our new map pack that went up last week or 2 weeks ago, including a map of Alkenstar made by Rick. Rick makes some awesome maps. He even included a very cool time-lapse video that shows how he made the map, which just shows all the work that he puts into them, which is crazy. This is like a lot of work that goes into it. So that was really cool video, Rick. Yeah, check those maps out. If you subscribe, you get access to them. Big thanks to Molten Hosting for providing our server hosting, making it so easy. Definitely not lagging on us tonight. I think it was my computer, honestly. I don't know what was going on with my internet, but use the referral code RecallKnowledge.
One word.
One word.
And that will allow you to get your first month of service for free. Check them out at moltenhosting.com. Thank you, Mike, for hopping into the chat and gifting subs to our chat. You're pretty cool. Check out Black Dragon Gaming. Got some Kineticist videos. Any other shout outs you guys want to give?
Actually, thinking about it, I'm gonna grab the floor and plug my Patreon as well, because I decided in my middle, what else do I want to do with my life? I've also started making map packs. I run a lot of first edition adventure paths still, and I've a common thread, especially towards the later ones, is they don't have a lot of great stuff for especially virtual tabletops, or in the older ones as well. So I spend so much time just I see what you're trying to do on this map. I'm going to make it better and then post it to places where my patrons can get it. And so I'm officially putting that on as well, starting with basically the entirety of the Tyrant's Grasp adventure.
We should collab.
I'm in. I'm fucking in as fuck. I've got so much stuff to color. But Tyrant's Grasp particularly, because it was at the very end of the 1 EAP arc, like some of the early 2 EAPs, you can see we're busy working on something else right now. We'll give you this adventure path. Here's hoping it works. And it's just, I've spent a lot of time I'm going to make this map. Okay, you're supposed to have a combat here. Cool. Make a whole big map of the city, so on and so forth. And I've been releasing it to folks alongside all the other homebrew stuff and videos and Google Sheets of builds and everything else in the full-on roster. And then, of course, if you want to pledge even higher, you can come hang out and play in professionally well-run games with yours truly, as I definitely won't throw wasps at you forever and ever.
Check that out. The link is patreon.com/blackdragongaming. Access to lots of adventure paths and playthroughs, maps, cool Discord perks. Check Tommy out.
All the things.
Check him out.
All of the things. Anything else? I think we're ready to call it for the week.
I don't know. It's not the dance party. It just feels so.
Oh, yeah. We should be back next Wednesday, September 14th at 7 o'clock Pacific for the next episode, and we'll see how you guys decide to progress here on Punks and a Powderkeg. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and goodbye, everyone.
I was ready.